On this episode, do your job. Hey everybody, this is The Quarter Show. We're talking about doing your job, and this may come across a little harsh, but it's not. I promise it's for your own good. I'm sure you've felt this way. I'm sure you've run into this yourself, no question. You know, in the business world, in both business and personal and things like that, you run into scenarios where you end up doing someone else's job, or people just dump things on your plate. And the truth is, one of the most valuable things that you could ask of any team is for them to know their job, know their position, know why they're there, know what they need to do, and to just problem solve and get it done, right? It's one of the most valuable things is people who know their job, they don't dump their job on other people's plates, and they just get it done. And all too often, I think we can be lazy. I really do. I think a lot of people are really lazy, even productive people, by the way. So, we all have these spurts of laziness, and it's easy sometimes to not confront the things that are actual work, the things that look like work, that feel like work, that are work. It's easy to dump it to other people, and sometimes you have these really productive players on your team, and then you just dump it to them, or you don't do it, or you act as if you don't know it, or you can't figure it out, and you get other people to solve your problem, and you get other people to do your work. It's like, don't do it, number one. Don't allow it. Don't do it, and don't allow it from others. Okay, so if somebody comes to you and says, oh, okay, how do I solve my problem and figure it out? Don't solve their problem, number one, and don't allow them to dump the work on your plate. Get them to do the work, get them to solve the problem, get them to wear their position, right? Wear their role, problem solve, and get it done. Do your work. Do your job.
And, that's definitely true. But here's the thing also, that doesn't mean don't ask for help. That doesn't mean don't get help. That doesn't mean don't get your hat on and learn how to do your post. That doesn't mean anything like that. But what it does mean is when you're given a hat, when you're given a post, do that post. There's like you could look at it in sales, you could look at it in marketing, you could look at it in a number of places, and anywhere where there's production happening or something like that. And you can find people who, and I've done this every so often, this kind of thing happens. In the past I've done this, where if a person doesn't perform, like, it can actually hurt a portion of the company. It can actually be harmful.
Yeah.
If a person isn't like, they come Monday, they're there, and they're performing their post and getting their actions done, then someone has to come in, right? Where, like, say like Rob runs a sales team right now, like he has for a while, and then there are people like myself and another fellow who also help on that. But to the degree that I don't myself get my sales done and don't get my juniors to get their sales done is the degree that Rob has to come in and, like, okay, everybody kind of out of the way, I guess I'll handle this, or something like this. To the degree that I don't have my hat on and do my job and get it done and execute and get others to also execute is the degree that a person has to be bypassed and a job has to get done by somebody else who shouldn't be doing it.
And it's exhausting. It's exhausting and draining. And this applies both personal and in business, but it's exhausting when you have people, or if you personally are not, problem solving and doing your work, doing your job fully and getting it done and doing exactly what's expected of you. When you look, you say, well, what is my job? Well, what do I need to do? And if there's an element that you're not doing, and then you're start like asking people, or sort of throwing your job onto other people, and maybe you don't realize it, but you start dumping it onto other people, essentially like, can you handle this, or can you handle that, or how do I do this? And you start doing that. What you don't realize is that you start clogging the lines of the organization and of that person, and it's a quick way to get other people to be overworked and overwhelmed, and this term like burnout, or whatever you want to call it, but it's a quick way to exasperate people, frustrate people, and overwhelm other people. And next thing you know, they're not there when you need them, or whatever. It creates turmoil. Your job is to really own your position, whatever that task is, whatever your position is, whatever you need to do, completely and entirely own it. Don't dump it on other people. And if you have a problem you can't solve, like, you don't need to immediately go to other people and say, how do I do this? How do I do that? It's like, look, you got YouTube, right? You can search anything is on YouTube. Anything you can possibly think of under the sun, moon, and stars is on YouTube. Every single answer you can think of. You can Google search it. You can figure it out. You can read a book. The most valuable people, the people that figure things out, problem solve, and just own their position and just get it done. And if you want to rise up in your organization, you want to really become a star, it's like, get really good at that. And then after a while, even if you suck at first and then you get really, really good, you figure out how to solve problems and how to really own your position. And from there, it's like, that becomes a very, very valuable player. There's this one book that I love, and I tell people about it. Somebody asked me on Quora 2 nights ago. Somebody asked me on Quora, like, what is the most underrated sort of best book of all time? And the first thing that came to mind was this book called A Message to Garcia, and by this guy Albert Hubbard, and it's like, all our people read it here. I love it. It's a 4 or 5 minute read, maybe, but it's this short little story about this guy that just gets it done, and it's incredible. And I would highly encourage, if you haven't read it, I would highly encourage that you read it and take a look at this book, A Message to Garcia. But it's essentially that premise of, like, just somebody who just takes essentially their position or takes their orders or directive or whatever. And it's not just about following orders. It's just somebody who figures it out and doesn't add congestion to the lines of the organization or the company or whatever, and just goes and gets it done. And it's amazing when you are that person, how valuable you become. And conversely, you probably don't realize, but if, when you look at within the organization, most people, especially the productive people or the higher up people, their minds are already clogged. They're already overwhelmed and crazy busy. So then when people start doing it, maybe it's just like one cycle, but if it comes from multiple different people and they're sort of not doing their position and dumping it in other people, and then they're getting other people to solve their problems, it just completely seizes up organizations. And it's something you want to get away from. And so this is a bit of a rant, but the thing is, handle your position entirely, and don't make other people. And I say this phrase, and this can be insulting probably, but I say this phrase internally. I say, look, I don't want to change your diapers.
Rob came in one day and dropped a box of Huggies on my desk. No, he didn't really.
No, not really. But the point is that I don't want to change your diapers.
This is a bit of a rant, but here's the thing:
it's a bit of a rant, but it's like the most valuable players. They just come in, they just work, and they just get it done. And even do they have problems? Yeah, of course they have problems. I have problems. You have problems. But the most valuable players, you just never hear about them because they're just crushing them and tackling them and getting them done.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well this week.
Yeah,
you spent 10 minutes today walking me through a problem.
Very
right? So I still come for help, but I'm going to still go get things done. And the thing is there's a lot of ways in which people are motivated. I mean, part of this comes back to motivation in terms of people doing their job. There are certain posts in organizations that we've sort of noticed where there's a lot of turnover, and it's not sales. There are specific positions where there's a lot of turnover that we've noticed. You go to someone's LinkedIn profile and you see how quickly they change companies, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it's not sales we're talking about, and you can take a look for yourself and find different things out. But in terms of motivation for getting something done, now this is just me. I'm just going to say this because this is the way I feel. Now, it's everyone at Richter. We have a very well-paid company and employees. Everybody's very well taken care of here. But it is production based across the board, up to the executive level. True. It is production based. And it's not that no one has a salary and everyone everywhere is some sort of weird commission bonus. It's not like that. But the point is, look, if you are trying to motivate your people, I just personally recommend giving them a small salary and production based. Like, people are motivated by money or duty or whatever. They're motivated by a lot of different things. If you have someone strictly motivated by duty, then pay them a lot and let them go do their thing.
Yeah, but incentivized by production.
Incentivized by production. And it's not constant. Like, there's a lot of really weird lingo and talks in the sales community about carrots and sticks and other crazy stuff. You don't have to keep every person. You don't have to work all these systems. Create a system that you like and find the people who operate well in it. and then show some folks the door and keep the ones that are your A players and that will do the job based on the company and the culture and the incentivization you have.
Yeah.
That will and you don't have to pay attention to them very much. You check in on them, how's it going? I've got this product rolling out and this product rolling out, and this is the game target we're hitting for the week, and this is how it's going.
But the truth is, along the same line too, if you're solving that, the person's problem, if you're solving people's problem, and then you're also you're taking over their position, you're doing their position for them, those aren't the people that are going to stay with you or stay super loyal. Those are the people who are not going to make it, in fact. So you think you're helping them in some regard, but you're not. It's like the people that you're really helping is train them up, drill them, get them stably on their position, and then let them do it. Let them problem solve. Let them really own their position. Let them be paid by production. Pay them well. Get all this stuff done. But let them get those wins and get through it and muscle through it. Don't sit there and solve their problem and take their position or get in, do their position for them. Let them own it entirely and do their job. And those are the people that get the wins. And those are the people that do the best eventually. And so, it's like this whole tough love thing. It's like if you start taking over their position and do the work and solve their problems,
you can't keep someone.
You can't keep somebody like that. And ultimately they're just not going to make it. Right. So it's very counterproductive. And so it's a bit of a rant episode, but do your job and make sure that you do your job and make sure other people do their job as well. And it makes for just a better group, a smarter group, and a more effective, productive group.
Right.
That is all we have for today. So we'll come at you with some more material here. Don't forget to subscribe. The last episode was kind of fuzzy. It was crazy. I apologize for that. The focus went out. Hopefully this one's a lot better. And we'll have more coming at you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and you can follow us on Twitter @thequarter show and #thequarter, all that good stuff. For other episodes, you can search #thequarter on Twitter and YouTube and all that good stuff. And of course, if you have ideas for episodes, hit them in the comments. Put them in the comment section on YouTube, and that'll help. Okay. All right. Thanks.